Welcome back at ImWateringPSUs. Today we are taking a look at the new Bitfenix or Bitfenix case that just came out, the Tracery ARGB. Now, like Bitfenix has done in the past, this is basically an updated and revamped version of a case that already existed, like they've done with the Nova. So I say we get straight into unboxing and then take a look at all the features. Let's go. It's heavy. It's a heavy case, guys. It's looking really nice, guys. Really nice. I love it. It's a huge case, guys. I have to say. Let's see what's inside. So the glass panel has a single screw and then it just pops off, which is honestly a very good design. Yes, I like it so far. I would have preferred if the screw stayed inside, but aside from that, it's very nice. Then they give you an instruction manual, and now let's see what the connectivity is on this case. Okay, let's take a look at the actual back panel and see what's inside. It has the same kind of screws and it pops out pretty nicely, I have to say. That's good. So you can see those are very nice because look at it. You can press on them and you can make space for your cable routes. So these are very good. Then we can find two 2.5-inch drive bays for your SSDs, and if someone is crazy enough to use a 2.5-inch hard disk, they can also fit. They give you an integrated RGB controller that is case controllable, as you can see by this reset switch, and that also handles all your fans. It is SATA powered, so you will need a SATA connector right there, and then it connects to your motherboard via a 4-pin for the fans and a 3-pin for the RGB. Extremely nice stuff. I think this coupled with the fans regarding the price really makes a lot of sense for good value, honestly. Let's take a look at what kind of cables we have here. So we have an USB-C, USB 3.0, we have the audio connector, and we don't have any USB 2.0 connectors. That is very interesting choice by Bitfenix. Then of course here we have our 3.5-inch hard disk bay, where you can also mount a 2.5-inch SSD on top, so it's a total of 3 mountable SSDs, and then they give you this package that we will now open up to see what's inside. So they give you the standard zip ties for the cable management, all the screws. You also have some radiator screws, which in many cases they don't give you, so that's a nice add. And now I say we take a look at the front. In accordance with the cables on the back, we have a Type-C, 2 USB 3.0, a microphone in, headphones out, the, again, reset button that it's used to handle your RGB, and the power on and power off button. The case also has, of course, a dust filter on top, and also one on the bottom for the power supply. So that's also really nice. And as you can see, it's actually pretty light once you have taken off the glass, so it's not bad at all. Taking a look at the back, other than the 120mm fan already installed, we can clearly see that you can mount your GPU either horizontal in the standard way, but also in vertical. And what is really interesting about this is that it's a 3-slot. So you can mount, well, technically even a 4090 in here because it supports the full 3 slots of GPU. And if we take a look at the power supply, it has a little cut on the shroud, so you can see what power supply you have in there, so people will know if you cheaped out on your power supply. So again, I would recommend getting a good one. And now let's take a look at the actual inside of the case, because there is much to say. Something very unique about this case is how many holes there are. Now you might be wondering, why are there so many? Pretty simple. These are to install your vertical mounted graphic card right there, and also to install an anti-sag stand in case you mount it actual horizontal. So these are actually a very cool design choice. And as you can see right here, we have more 2.5-inch slots for your SSD. Well, those aren't actually designed to be that, but they can be if one wants to. You can also put controllers in there, so they're very useful. I also like this design to hide the cables. So as you can see, you mount your motherboard here and the cables go straight under, so you cannot see your cable management. It's a very cool choice. And now this case supports all the way up to extended ATX motherboards. as you can see. Now we'll go and grab a motherboard for a comparison to show you the actual dimensions, but it's a very, very big case. So just to show you, this is a micro ATX Huanan motherboard. Now look at how small this thing looks inside this case. Look at it, it's tiny. It's really small. So it's a case for big motherboards, which is nice. There aren't as many today, and you can fit, again, a nice 360 radiator on the front and a nice 361 on top as well with all the meshes. So very high airflow case, I have to say. Probably the most unique part of the case is the front, which is the part that was also revisited. And as you can see, it's fully mesh. And the whole idea is that the RGB will be seen through the mesh, which makes for a very nice looking case. Plus, it also has some bits of plastic that add to the aesthetic experience, which I find really nice. Obviously, you can remove them if you want maximum airflow. And it's also meshed out on the sides, so this thing has also that going for him, and not just a single thing. So coming over to the conclusions. Should you buy this case, and who is this for? Well, obviously you should buy it if you're the right customer for it, because it's honestly very well built, it feels nice, and it has a lot of features. We've gone over most of them. A couple extra is that obviously it has ample space for the power supply. You can also remove the HDD bay, ample space for your motherboard, and a ton of cooling space. And this is the key part in determining who this case is for. This case is for someone that really wants to fit a ton of hardware into it, doesn't want to be constrained about dimensions of things, and even for someone that would like to do some custom water cooling, I can definitely see a pump and reservoir here, maybe with a double radiator. That's something you can do with this. And obviously, since there aren't as many extended ATX cases on the market, I think this is one of the better ones. Not too long ago, when I worked on my graphene build video, I was in the market for an extended ATX case, and I really didn't have many choices under the 200 euros mark. And this thing comes in at just a shade over 100 bucks. It's like I paid 110 for it. Bitfenix sent them to us. They sponsored this video gladly, and it's extremely good value for that price. So if you need a big case and you are going to utilize all this space, all those cutouts, all these fans, then yes, I do recommend it. It's very well built. Do let me know if you want to see more reviews, and see you in the next one, guys. Bye.